Alright, so to wrap this page, of course, you know that when the user click on this particular order, what we want them to do, what we want them to be able to do is that we want them to be able to track that particular order. So, meaning that when they click on this particular order, it should take them to a page where they can track that order. That is what we're going to be doing now. So, before we move ahead to the page of tracking the order, let us quickly finalize what we are going to be using on that page of tracking the order to populate the order tracking. So I will come back to editing and yeah. So now that we have that, we can then let's move down. I want us to even do this at the top. So let's move to the top. Yes. So I'll come to this my simple lists, my orders. I'll come to when the item is clicked. So that means when a particular item is clicked, I'll clean up. So when a particular item is clicked, of course, I have two things from the item that is clicked, the list item that is clicked. I have the item and the index. So what I want to do is that I want to get the order ID that was clicked and then store it as a stored variable so that I can have access to it in the tracking of orders page. And once I store it, I will then navigate the user to the login, to the tracking page. So it is that order ID that I have and I will now use to do some work there. And that's what we're going to be doing now. So I will go ahead to create a store variable. I'm going to be using to store the order ID that was clicked by the user. So don't worry, we're going to be displaying it on the tracking page so that we can have an idea of what we are doing. So I am call it clicked order ID. The order ID that user click, that's what I want to use it for. So I will then come to when that simple list order, when you click on a particular item, I want to do something. I want to come to variable and set the click order ID. Now what the variable I want to set is the clicked order ID. Yeah. So now that I've set that, now don't forget that when we were getting the order ID, we're actually joining the product name. So at this point, we don't need the product name because it will create issue for us. So let us remove the product name before we pass it to the tracking page. But this is now more beautiful because now at this point, we can now use the function that we have defined again, and that's the benefit of it. So now, meaning that from this, if you get this item, the item looks like what we define, which is the ID. Let me just show you what the item looks like. This is the list of ID before we add the item. But after adding the item, it now look like this. It's now look like this. Let me move this down. I think we don't need that boy again. So this will now be useless now. Yeah, we can just leave it so. Now this is what our item now look like. The product name. Where is the product name? Product name. Yeah, this is the product name. This is what the item look like. And for the second one, this is what it looks like. Product name. Here you go. This is what it looks like. Yeah. So what you just need again now is just the ID. So it has the benefit of writing a function. We just use our function that okay, get the first occurrence of one and can plus 12. That's the last two. Now this is what your item look like. So from this item we want to get only this. So let's come back. Let's come back. It's not over until it's over. Yeah. So we come to text. Then in text, don't forget it's also a string. In text item, I want to get the string number. What? I'll come to my function, get the starting character, position, and the item I want to use is now item. Of course, I've defined it as order, but it's still the same pattern. Look for the first occurrence of 1, then add 12 to it. So this one will now be 2. Where should I stop? Stop at get ending character position, and the item, I'll duplicate this. I'll just set it to this. Okay, let me zoom out now so that you can see it. Of course, it's a long block, but at least let me clean up. At least you can see it now. So now that we have been able to do that, we will have stored it in our click order ID. So then, since users click on the part, so I've set the list item to empty list. So because when the user come back, it will add the item. Like if you have 2 orders that save the 2 order in this simple list, by the time you come back to the page again, it will take another 2 lists, add it again, making it 4. So but before the user go to the next page, I want to reset that simple list. So I'll go ahead to say simple list set test yeah. So when a particular item is clicked, I'll set it to an empty list. And after which I will then navigate. So I think I should zoom in a bit. So I will then navigate the user to the page where they can track their order, because now we have everything we need to track the order. So I'll navigate the user to track order. Now that we have that, before we test, let us go to the block of track order and display. Of course, we have a label. Let me go to the design and just display the order ID. So let me just have a label just to display what we are bringing to this page, to be sure that it safely arrives or safely gets to this page, because that is what everything will depend on this page, the order ID. So label order ID, so I'll set it to be nothing. And once this page open, I just want to set the label order ID to whatever we have in the stored variable of clicked order ID. So we have in the stored variable of clicked order ID. So I can then go ahead to preview now. And now we should have a working. So we have our list of orders. Yes, so if I click on it, you can see I have my order ID. If I come back to my list of orders again, 1974 was the one I clicked before. Now I don't have my navigation on this page yet, that's why I have to take the pin off going through this route, and now it's not going. Yeah, I think it was again. I think I just want to go to my orders. That is the most important things for now. Yeah, so you can see that it's working fine. I think I use this one the other time. If I click on this one now, it takes me to the track order page and I'm getting my order ID. And with that, we have been able to come to the end of screen my orders. And the next thing we're going to be working on now is the functionality of tracking our order, like every milestone, when the order was placed, when the order was delivered out for delivery. We are going to be tracking it with this magical order ID that we've been able to pass to our tracking of order page. So I believe you have a nice time seeing how we work with the technical part of the my order screen. So, but the track order is going to be simpler and it's going to be easy to follow along. But the order screen, my order screen too, is very easy. All you just need to do is just pay attention, practice it, watch it again if there's need for it, and I can tell you that you will definitely get